Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike and Diana, host of the 1NELife podcast, believe that most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike and Diana want you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The 1NELife podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities and creates an equal playing field for all. On the 1NELife podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the 1NELife podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the 1NELife podcast. I am Mike MIC Reed, and as always, I got my co-host Diana Gotti from the AV Wellbeing Coalition, doing it the Gotti way.
Hey,
what's up? And we got Devontae and Jasmine from Top Shelf Financials in the building with us.
Hey, y'all.
How you guys doing? The power couple of the Boulevard.
Hey, we're doing good, feeling good.
Hey, before we jump into this conversation, let's talk about what's going on in the community.
Yeah, so I actually want to encourage everyone to come out to Sip and Paint, and it's brought to you by the Eric A. Garcia You Are Enough Foundation. This is a scholarship fundraiser, and it's going down Thursday, April the 13th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Color of Wine Avenue. It is located at 45074 10th Street West, Suite 101B in Lancaster, and it's $40, which includes all material supplies, light snacks, and a taste of wine, right? Hey, wine will get you right.
Yes, absolutely.
I am always up for some wine.
You know, and it's also a jolt of joy, honestly, to really just sit there and just let your creativity just flourish.
Right.
So,
and Sip and Paints are great. They always make you feel like you're an artist.
you know,
It's the most simple picture, but it always turns out good.
If you want to get creative, pull up the Sip and Paint.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
right. And it's the great thing is it's for a scholarship foundation. So June is around the corner, and we want to encourage these kids and kind of give them that little head start in life, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we don't want any student dead.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely something good for them to look forward to. So get out there for that Sip and Paint.
Yes. What else is going on?
Ooh, so we have a little something we're working on, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
You got to tell them about it.
So this is something that's been in our hearts that we want to kind of pour back into the youth, and it is a podcast workshop.
Yes.
Hey,
That's cool.
1NELife is kind of gonna, you know, I guess pave the way for the next generation, right?
No, it is, and it's important. I think even for nowadays that we need to, give our youth the voices and stop teaching them. Because back in the day, our parents used to say, "Hey, don't talk," blah blah. It's like no, because now the kids they grow up and then they're scared to use their voices, and our kids' voices are very important to our future.
That's right.
So we giving them this platform to use their voices and get comfortable with speaking in public.
Right.
And speaking up for their rights and for everything.
Yeah.
Asking those questions.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. We're going to it. We had a meeting yesterday that was very positive with this company, and I'm not going to mention the company yet because we haven't signed the contract yet. But it is like a 99% is going through. We got another meeting today to finalize it, and so hopefully next week we can start.
That's why you feeling so good today, Diana.
Oh,
You know, it's all about empowering the youth.
Yeah.
You know, kids need to know that they are the future.
Yeah.
There is no idea that is too small. In fact, everything that we're touching, that we come in contact. The other day I was telling someone thought of a cell phone, and here we are today. That we're just literally a phone call away anywhere in the world.
Watching
And that
TV
came
on
from
the
what?
phone's the whole deal.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So let's just pour back into our youth. Not only that, but develop the community that we want, right?
Right.
So I'm super excited about that.
I'm excited because again, I feel like it's my obligation, because somebody did that for me when I was a child, and for me to be successful and not turn around and pull somebody else up, like I feel like that's wrong, and we have to do that. Now we can't be selfish with it. We gotta show our youth that there is another way, because it's a lot of hatred in the world, a lot of egos and just haters, and it's all kind of madness that's going on right now. We kind of need to show them, like, hey, especially with speaking of Jacqueline, there's a lot of suicide, the numbers for children and suicide is so high.
Yeah.
True.
Because this generation is just so different. And I know our parents said that about us,
Right.
right? But it's like we got to do our part.
Right.
Like, and I feel like I got to do my part.
Yeah.
So I'm excited
That's
about
amazing.
It's a
it. So another thing that I'm excited about is the second CAP program starts April 20th.
Oh, yes.
And I got my acceptance letter. I'm excited about that. It's for the certificate in applied positive psychology. I'm so excited about that.
You are in. You are
I am
in.
finally in.
Yes. Oh, and May the 4th be with you. May 4th is National Prayer Day through the Hispanic
AV
Chamber of Commerce.
Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, we're having a prayer breakfast actually
Yes.
at the AV Country Club.
Yes.
Yes, at
Exactly.
7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and tickets are on sale now for $35. Just go to the website and you can purchase your tickets now. It will be sold out because they only selling 250 tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Actually, I thought of that because I'm wearing my necklace. Actually, from Beauty to Ashes. From
Okay,
yeah.
From Adriana, yeah.
From Adriana.
Yeah, she is the
yes.
coach. She is the chair actually of the committee, and she's about to put on a nice thing that morning. Nice
Yeah.
breakfast. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty dope.
Yes,
Got a lot
yes.
of good things happening here.
Yeah. So let's jump into this, you guys. So I've been waiting to talk to you guys because you guys do so much.
Appreciate that. Cool.
So
We're excited to be here as well. By the way,
Absolutely.
before we jump into it, are you guys okay if we gift you before we jump into the podcast? I brought some stuff for you.
Oh,
Okay.
oh my God. Yeah.
Who turns down gifts?
I'm
Like,
like,
Right? You like gifts, right?
Aw,
So I wanted to
thank
do this because you guys do an amazing job bringing attention to the entrepreneurs here, the business owners that put it all on the line to not only do well for their families, but also to bring a lot of value to our community. And so for you guys highlighting the businesses and just committing your time to it, it's amazing. I love seeing it, and I'm happy to be a part of this as well. So on behalf of Top Shelf Financial, Top Shelf the brand, we wanted to bring you guys out some stuff to kick our meeting off, if that's all right with you guys.
Please. Oh my God. I love
I'm excited because you
gifts.
guys
Yeah.
do nothing but top shelf stuff. So
Hey.
I'm like, hey, like, what you got in the bag?
Well, this is for us right here.
What?
A little Bel Air for
Yeah.
us to enjoy.
What? Okay.
Some rosé.
We actually might need to pop that. Right.
We're gonna get a lot of wins in this community. So, and this is for you guys, some Veuve Clicquot.
Oh my
we're gonna do
God.
a
I
lot
love
of-
that's
a
one
lot
of my
of shit.
favorites.
How about
so when
that?
you guys
Right?
secure that deal that you guys are working on,
That's
you guys pop
exactly what we're.
That's what we're gonna do.
Absolutely.
My
got some
God. You guys.
Yeah,
we
this
can
is a
cheers later.
celebration. The celebration. Yeah, we can put it out there later whenever you guys
my-
want to. But
man.
and then also we got some of the brand as well, some of the merch for you guys that we went
What?
that we wanted to,
Wow.
to give to you.
I feel like it's Christmas right now.
Dang. Okay.
Wear them while it's still cool a little bit, right?
Oh, wait a minute.
I got there.
This ain't. Hey, hey,
Yeah, man, that's top shelf merch.
hey, you guys like really
You guys
like.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm in awe. You know
Wait a
what?
minute. Wait.
Yo, pass it around.
Wait.
We got some more.
Are you guys serious right now?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Wait.
Doing amazing stuff.
So
in the
we wanted both
community.
of you
This
guys
is
to
for
have
guys
something.
Oh my
You know,
God.
sometimes the ladies get
What?
forgotten. We will not forget about you.
Wait.
Mike.
We knew we was pulling up. We had to get you guys right. So that's some of our latest merch that dropped. The top
So
shelf.
you know people normally give out T-shirts. So you guys really are upholding your name like top
Absolutely.
shelf.
It's
Hello.
gotta
Yeah.
be. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Josh for the creative for putting
Dang.
this together. So
Okay.
that's for you guys.
Yes. You know what? God is good. God is
Amen.
good, y'all.
Amen.
Wow,
Chill.
man! Like
That's
seriously,
what's up.
appreciate this.
Of course.
Much love.
Of course.
Thank you. Wow,
You know
this
what?
is amazing.
Yes. And just today I was
I'm
doing
at
a
awe.
little
I
bit
ain't
of
know what to say right
gratitude.
now.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
You guys are way too much right now.
That's for you guys.
Yeah,
That's for you
absolutely.
guys.
We wanted to show
Wow.
you guys our appreciation as well for just having us out. So
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Appreciate you guys. You guys bring attention to our brand, to our business.
Wow.
We want to definitely bless you guys with what we're doing. So
This is dope.
Wow, I'm wearing this.
I'm just afraid my kids are gonna take this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm glad.
Yeah.
We have a
you know
preteen,
what?
so we make sure I get one and she gets one. 'Cause she'll take everything from me, right?
Yeah, that's actually what I have. But not only that, but when you're talking about finance for the youth, they really need to know that there is
right.
something out there for them.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So tell us about, because when I first saw you guys, like I was watching the videos, and your videos are amazing, by the way. So, and I'm pretty sure that's Amber.
Shout out to Amber.
Shout out to
Hey, she's
you
in
guys-
the building.
You guys do an amazing job. And when I first saw you guys, I was confused. I was like, wait, what do they do? Do they do music? Do they do clothing? They do fine? Like, but then I started watching it, and it started kind of making sense. But kind of tell our people, like, what do you guys do? Like, what is your main thing?
Yeah, definitely. So our practice is financial services. We're in the financial space. I specialize in retirement planning, life insurance, financial services in its entirety. Jasmine's on the investment side, so that's what she does. She'll speak to that. But we knew that when we were building this brand, Top Shelf Financial, and then Top Shelf, just the brand with the clothing and the merch, we knew there was going to be a lot of confusion in regards to like, how does clothing, how does merch, how does apparel correlate with financial services? And really the whole approach to it is we want to just kind of change the narrative, change the I guess the visual of what your day-to-day financial advisor is supposed to look like. Everything that we do with Top Shelf is breaking the glass ceiling, and taking a different approach that our community, our culture will appreciate, so that's really, we'll get more into it, but that's really the mindset and the drive behind it.
Oh, I love it. So let me ask you this: who started it? I mean, I know you guys are husband and wife. So
Absolutely.
Right.
how long you guys been doing Top Shelf?
Yeah, so we've been Top Shelf is not new. We've been working on Top Shelf for creating the brand since 2017. So that's hence the 17 right there.
I was going to ask you about the 17.
Yeah, absolutely. It's warm in here. I need something to wipe.
We do, yeah.
It's this big jacket, man. I should take
Hey, yeah,
So 17 since 2017. It was the brand itself was founded by my partner, Josh. Josh created the brand, and we collaborated. We grew up together, so we always wanted to figure out how to make financial services more attractive, more appealing, give it a swagger that oftentimes in our community or in the financial industry is missing. And so we collaborated with the brand and kind of giving it a lifestyle with financial services.
No, I love the marketing of it because you definitely grab people's attention. Like you grabbed my attention immediately. I was like, "What is it?" Because I'm in. My first passion is like marketing and branding, and so anytime I see something, especially like on a video or something, and it just makes an impact, I'm always like, "Oh, what is that?
Right.
Like, what are they doing?"
Right.
So,
and a lot of people at first, they're a little confused. Like, what does one have to do with the other? But it's more so a lifestyle brand. So it's more than just finances. It's more than just clothes. It's bringing something to the community that they haven't seen before and making it comfortable for people that look like us to making it more approachable, basically.
Right. No, and I love it. I love the marketing aspect of it. Because typically, I know this is kind of stereotype, when you talk about financial advisors and all that, it's the, people in the suits and you got to talk proper and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, make it fun. Cause you kind of scare people that way. Right. Especially people like us. Like, you don't want to scare them. You want to kind of like I said, bring them into the culture and like, because they need to learn this type of stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things why we're getting into the workshop with the kids, because, my whole thing in life has always been giving back to the kids. But you got your kids that go to all these school assemblies, right? And they're always like sitting through lectures. It's like, it's going in one ear. They don't understand what these professors are talking about. And no disrespect to like professors or anything like that. But some of our kids that look like us, they can't relate.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to get involved, because it's like, I've been there. Like, I've been homeless. I've been through gangs, been through drugs, and all this stuff. It's like, they need to hear from somebody like me that found a way, that made it, and so I can show them the path how to do it.
Absolutely.
And they're going to listen to me while I'm up there. They won't listen to Mr. Professor.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I love that.
And I can relate and I can connect with that as well, because, through our career, obviously we've scaled and we've grown, right? From the 13 years, going on 13 years that we've been in the industry, but we've been blessed. We've been very fortunate to be on those golf courses and to be in those rooms, right? With, the top players in our industry, the 1%ers, if you will. And it very rarely looks like us. It very rarely feels like us.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
So for me, I want to kind of change that. You can have a swagger. You can, look a certain way and still be true to yourself, but it's also pretty cool to be financially independent and financially smart with your money as well.
Right.
And so that's what we want to kind of distribute to our community, that you can still be you. You can still have the swagger. You can still be cool. But at the same time, you got to understand what those guys in those rooms understand as well.
Right.
So before, how long you guys been married?
We've been married for 7
I'm gonna let her mess this up.
I mess it up all the time. No, I mess it up all the time.
Good job, Mike. I love it.
We've been, let's start here. We've been together since high school, 2008.
Okay.
We got together.
Hey.
Congratulations. I love that, by the way.
Thank
I love
you.
hearing
Thank
those types
you.
of stories.
And we got married in 2015. So what is
Go
that?
ahead, mess that up. Yeah. I
We're
think
going on 8 years in
Yeah.
September.
Yep.
Okay.
Quick math. Yeah.
So this is an easy question then. Was both of you guys, well, obviously you guys knew each other since high school, was both of you guys' dream to go into financials?
Oh, absolutely not. It was.
Okay, so
it was,
how did that come about?
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you tell the story better. Go ahead.
All right. So for me, no, it wasn't my dream.
Get
to
a little
into
closer to the mic. There you go.
There you go. So it wasn't my dream or goal at all to get into the financial sector. I actually, when I started going into college and trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go into, obviously I come from a sports background. Once we realized that wasn't going to be the way that we were going to make a career, the next thing I wanted to look into was sports journalism, right? Okay. I still wanted to be tied to sports. But I'm not the best student, and I was kind of burnt out on going to school. And then we also, found out that we were going to be expecting our first child, right? My daughter, Brooklyn. And I've always had this vision of when I have kids, when I start a family, I want to be at a certain place financially. And I was nowhere near close to that place. I was 19 years old. And it just chance encounter. My neighbor, Ernie Sears, shout out to Ernie. He was looking to get my dad involved in the financial industry. And I was working at Finish Line in the AV Mall. And he comes to my dad's house looking to talk to him about getting involved in the industry. My dad wasn't home. I happened to be home. And I'm like, dude, it's 12 o'clock. What are you doing at home? Most people, with your situation, you're at work, right? And he tells me he runs his own business. And expecting a daughter, I'm like, well, could I work with you? Because I see you live on a golf course. I see you got it going on.
Right.
And he had no interest in wanting me to run with them at the time. And it was because I was 19 years old. Most 19-year-old kids aren't clear on what they want to do.
Right.
Only thing that I was clear on was that I have a daughter on the way and I got to make something happen. So I was very clear on just being successful, not so much being an advisor or being an insurance broker, more so just I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So he gave me an opportunity, and 13 years later, I didn't think it was going to take me to where it has taken me. And obviously my wife, having much more fancier credentials than me with an investment background, and it's just been an amazing journey. So
with that, at 19, were you born and raised out here? Or?
I was born and raised out here.
Okay, cool. So with that, what was one of the biggest adversities you had to go through?
Living here?
I mean, just start your business. From 19, knowing you got a child on the way, but you had a clear path or a vision that you knew what you wanted. But what was your adversities going through it?
So great question. Yeah. So the first challenge that I was going through was I was 19. You always, for anyone getting in the financial sector, one of the common sayings that you'll hear from families is, boy, I got shoes older than you. You know what I mean? Kind of giving you that energy. And I was 19. And this is a industry to where people are absolutely serious about their livelihood. So you can't be a young kid thinking that you're going to advise somebody on things that are critically important to their family, and not be super on point. So my age was a challenge. My dad did really well for himself financially, but thank God for him, he didn't make it easy on me. He didn't, I had the basics, I got a place to sleep. I got a car, but gas money was a struggle. I had the basic struggles, man. And I had to climb through the insurance mud, so to speak, to really build a life for myself. And like I said, he supported me with the basics, but at the same time, if I wanted to really make something out of this, it was 100% on me. So that was the challenge, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just being young parents. So whenever we wanted to focus, or when he wanted to focus solely on financial services, at the time I was in the nursing field. So whenever he wanted to focus solely on his career and I wanted to focus solely on work, it's leaving behind the thing that tied us together the most, which was our daughter. So trying to balance being parents to her and still holding on to the friendship and relationship that we had, that was another challenge starting off for sure.
100%. We missed a lot of parties. We didn't spend a lot of time, clubbing or getting, doing the family get-togethers. We didn't do a lot of those things because, we were, in the classroom, so to speak, not with school, but through, the business community I was tied to at 10, 11 o'clock on a Saturday. And it sucked, but at the same time, it was like those times groomed us for, what was going to be coming 10, 12 years later.
I taught a few of my nephews that at a young age. I taught them, because I've been on my own since I was 14, and I've never had a 9-to-5 job. Right. And I taught them to go after your dreams and prepare for it now. Because they would always go to like the neighborhood clubs and party and drink and all that. I said, look, you guys are young. I said, and it kind of reminded me of a video you just did about when someone gets bonuses or to get a raise, don't flex.
Don't go get a Camaro, guys.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was teaching them that, like, look, you guys are smart. Go get your shit together now, right? Because you're 20 years old. This is when I was on 20 years old, early 20s. I said, you partying at the local club, buying some girl a drink or buying. I said, yeah, that's all cute and all that. I said, but think about that. Go get your shit together for the next 5-10 years when you're 30. And think about if you can tell a girl or your boys and say, hey, let's go to Miami tonight. Let's go party this weekend.
Absolutely.
How much more fun is that?
Yeah, that's real.
And you're going to be still above your class.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. I saw a post on Facebook, and I was cracking up. It said, guys go to the club and they buy VIP VIP space, tables, and they treat it like they bought land in the club, man. And
right,
it's like,
a $30 bottle is $600.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it's like, you didn't buy land in the club, man. You just bought a section, and there's bigger flexes out there than that, And
think about what they could have did with that $600.
Right,
Real talk.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. That's
right.
But it's so true, because unfortunately we live in a society where it's keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Right?
It's a status quo, but people don't understand that the true investment is in yourself.
Yep.
And no one is telling you, no one is teaching you, no one is showing you. And like you said, something that we can be relatable, right? Within our culture, within millennials is what we are, and for the next generation, they're not showing them how to be debt free, something that we were kind of touching on. Right. And that is true, like freedom and just to be liberated to really do as you want and travel wherever it is that you want in the world. So I love that you are educating and you have this available for our community, because people really don't know how to do that, how to handle and manage their finances.
Right.
Well, it is hard. I mean, especially as a young person. I mean, it's very rare to find someone, especially like yourself, like at 19, wanting to get into financial business. Like that's scary, kind of scary for a young person like that, because it's like what you have to learn in that. Like I couldn't even imagine. I wasn't even thinking about financials at that age. So, but I mean, how do we get our youth to understand that? Because it is kind of hard. Because they want to, like Diana said, is keep up with the Joneses. They want to party every night. Like what are some of the things or the tools that they can use to understand all this?
Right. Are you talking about from a personal investing into themselves with financial services? So the common denominator is we all want to get to a certain place in life where we don't have the limitations. We want to be able to, have the opportunity to buy the home, to travel, to eat wherever it is that we want to eat at, right? So that's the end goal. But what goes into the work to make that happen?
Right.
And it is the boring work of, studying investments, right? Or working with an advisor that understands investments and having the discipline of doing that, 5, 6, 10 years, 20 years, to be able to get to that absolute end goal that you don't want to have compromised at all. So that's kind of the starting mindset that I would encourage to go into it. And again, just changing that narrative, like being financially free and financially independent is the new cool, is the new swagger. If we look at what happened with crypto, we had more people investing in crypto because I was like, I'm gonna become a crypto millionaire, right? And so that led people to take that action, right? They were in it for maybe the wrong reasons of get rich quick, but everybody that tells you, everybody wants to get to a certain place financially. It's just having the discipline to do it, and then. And like I said, our approach with Top Shelf Financial is to make it look approachable, make financial services be approachable to even start the conversation.
Right. And I would say also the responsibility for the youth comes from the home. So if your parents are speaking to you about finances early, then you're going to have a thirst for it earlier than others. So it more so starts then. We're lucky, we're millennials, and millennials are all about entrepreneurship and investing. So our generation kind of has it together. And our generation's goal and what we should hold responsible and close to our hearts is teaching our children the importance of finances so that we never have another generation that's raised without the knowledge.
Right.
Absolutely.
So speaking of crypto, because I was very big in that. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can share. That's a good question for you.
So I'm an investment advisor, so I deal in the stock market. I loved the crypto wave. It was just exciting to see people make money. We invested in it, of course. But my thing that I would always speak to all my clients about is you need to invest in things that we know is going to be there. The stock market will forever be here. So if you're going to invest in crypto, I hope you have the basics done first. I hope you have the foundation to wealth started first, which is life insurance. From there, make sure you're starting to think about retirement. And then you want to make sure you have an investment advisor like myself or someone else that's talking to you about the stock market, because it's historically going to be here, right? And it's historically been here and it'll be here forever. And then once you have those things done, have fun. Do a little crypto shopping. And things like that. It's just a little, it's
there's so much changing, in our country right now. Obviously, money's going digital, right? And there's no denying that. So I say because there's a lot of unknown, a lot of uncertainty in that dealing with crypto, right? Play the long game. That's the best advice that one can take. So don't look at because I invested in crypto and I was a part of a crypto run, right? And it was exciting, right? But now it's down and, and it's starting to, you see trends, it's coming back, whatever. Play the long game with it,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Have it in the portfolio, but don't just rely on just that. You should have some real estate. Don't just rely on financial services. You should have real estate in the portfolio.
No, absolutely. Like, I own my own house. I got life insurance. And I learned to get life insurance, I think it was like 20-some years ago.
Beautiful.
Because I had to, unfortunately, pay for 2 funerals, one my grandmother and then my stepmom. Like that I had to help pay for, and that's not fun. When someone, your family member don't have life insurance, I'm telling you, it is not fun to have to pay for that funeral.
Right.
And I'm telling you, the second funeral that I paid for, because I'm the baby of 7 kids. Right. I told all my brothers and sisters, we was at the funeral home. As I was writing a check, I said, all you MFs better go get some life insurance.
Right.
This is the last funeral I'm paying for.
Right.
Cause that ain't no fun.
No.
Like it's expensive. Like, and then you got everybody family member there, right? Saying, "Oh, I want so and so to have this," and like, I had my brother do that to me, and I was like, "I'm sorry, are you paying for this?"
Right.
Like he would start to add stuff. And, when you add stuff to a funeral,
it adds up.
I want this. I want that.
Yeah,
Well, when did you see that was free on the itemized list? Right?
Yeah, like so. Trust me, I've always had life insurance, and I've always kept it up. Like. Because I would never put my kids through that.
Right.
Because I got 2 kids that's grown right now, but I would never put them through that.
Yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, everyone's using GoFundMes as life insurance. And, GoFundMe is not life insurance.
No,
that's not what the platform was created for. So,
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, again, just shift in the culture, because when you look at other communities, right, they don't have that, they don't come with that baggage. When they transition, when they pass away, like if you look at maybe even the Jewish community, they leave behind $500,000 million. So they constantly pass along generational wealth.
Right.
Right. And most people don't have the basic understanding that life insurance is not an extravagant, high cost premium to be in position to leave behind generational wealth. Everyone's going to transition at some point. Right. But setting and kind of breaking those generational curses that we see too often in the Black and brown community, that just starts with maybe having a basic $250,000, $500,000, $30 life insurance policy.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
I've been paying $34 for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't even miss it. Because I don't see it. Like,
see it.
I mean, come on, we go to Starbucks and spend $5 a day.
Right.
Like that's your life insurance right there.
That's
Right.
facts. Yep.
Right.
That's facts. Exactly.
And it literally is the foundation of wealth. So
Yeah.
if you guys are thinking about being wealthy, young people, while you're young, get some life insurance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
so
while your
many
health
changes-
is
While your
good.
health is
Yeah,
good.
definitely. And so many changes have happened in the life insurance industry to where, I don't want to sound like a commercial or nothing like that, but you don't got to die to live your life, to be able to use your life insurance.
Right.
You know, there's so many options within it. So that's where working with an advisor it's financially smart to consider that. So there's so many options out there. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, you don't sound like a commercial, because this is something that we definitely need to talk about, because there's so many people, like you said, that's using GoFund. They're not educated on it. And people, and I'm speaking from experience, because paying for 2 funerals is not fun. So I want to stress that point. Like, get some life insurance, talk to a financial advisor like these two power couples right here. I'm telling you, it's worth it. You won't miss those pennies every month, because you blow it every month anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many? Go look at your bank account. A little $10, $5 every month. Like those stuff adds up that you don't know what it is. And come on, like get somebody.
That's your monthly premium right there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And if there's something that you can leave to your children,
Right.
you know, that's what you want. You don't want them to inherit your debt.
Exactly.
You know, for example, I come from 2 entrepreneurs. Actually, I'm second generation entrepreneurs. And my parents taught me that at an early age. Unfortunately, due to other medical, hiccups that they had in life, they actually lost their life insurance. Okay. But the good thing about that is that my mom goes, well, I bought my plot, so I already have my area. Everything is paid for. And she goes, the last thing I want to do is actually leave this burden on you. And I admire my parents for that, for always teaching me and guiding me and telling, showing me my worth. And, not knowing what you can do with your money, and it's so easy to just blow it. But I love that you are educating people to get life insurance at a very early age. And there's just so much, bad rap, depending on the companies or people. But get educated, y'all. Honestly, I mean, the only thing that's promised in life is death.
Right.
And that's the scariest thing, right? Tomorrow's never promised. No. So why not be ready for it? This is a reality.
Yeah. It starts with one generation. If one generation disciplines itself to make that change, it could change future generations that come long term.
Right.
Excuse me. I gotta
So where does I think you touched on this earlier. Where does 17 come from?
So 17.
And congratulations, by the way, because I saw it on ABC7.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You guys were on a fashion show.
Yeah. That was out in. Again, shout out to my partner Josh. That was we were included in New York Fashion Week this year. Out in New York. Yeah, it was cool. So it makes everything on our side with Top Shelf Financial that much simpler, because he's creating and putting everything he's got into making apparel that, we didn't want to come up with a bunch of support me items. Like, I'll wear this to support you. Like, we wanted to have merchandise, for our clients, for our agents that feel good about wearing this to a date night or just hanging out. Like, it's that fashionable. Right. And he does an amazing job with doing that. And that landed him in New York Fashion Week. It was a big celebration. It was just a massive win for the brand itself.
That's pretty dope.
Oh my goodness.
So it started in 2000. The brand started in 2017, so that's where 17 comes from.
So just from the year.
Yeah. Okay. And then it goes a little bit deeper. 17 is that pivotal age where you're trying to figure out which way, you're going to go in the real world, and college decisions, working decisions. You really put in serious conscious thought into what you want your life to be. So it goes a little bit deeper than just the year we started it, but that's a little bit of the background for it.
Nice. I love that. And you also are involved in youth sports, basketball, right?
Yeah. I come from a basketball family, but my dad, he is big. Probably one of the biggest in Southern California in the basketball community, with impacting kids and youth. And, that's one thing that you kind of touched up on, your passion for, being involved with kids and teaching them, because they, maybe come from a similar background like yourself. My dad, he was, he just retired last week. I think he had like a 37-year career in probation. So he's seen, kids, have to spend time in jail and, life just being altered because they got to go and see a probation officer. So he started a sports program. It was based out here in the Antelope Valley when this had to have been early 2000s, when I was maybe, I don't know, I was young, right? So 6-7 years old. And we had it here in the Antelope Valley from like 2000 to about 2005. 2015, about 15 years. And he ended up taking the business to Orange County. He got much more support in Orange County with, facilities, and, they just rally behind their community out there, to make it possible for these kids to have, a facility to be able to do volleyball, basketball, indoor soccer. So he took the business down there where it was much more possible for the kids up here to have consistent have an athletic experience. But what's exciting about it is about 14 years later, we're now back in the Antelope Valley, in the school districts. I think collectively we've seen the impact in our community just competitively, not having our resources and assets available for our kids in the community. So the school districts finally opened up and, worked with them to be able to bring the league back here to the AV. So the first game is going to start next Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's exciting. So that'll be the 14th. Or
So
15th,
are you guys are behind it?
Correct.
Yes, we help
Absolutely.
sponsor a lot of the stuff that they're doing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And where are the games usually located?
So go ahead.
It's multiple high schools. So we have Eastside High School, P Knight High School, and then a lot of the different middle schools. But the games themselves will be held at the high schools because they have 2 gyms. So
Yeah. Because actually I was picking up my son one day from practice and I happened to walk into, he's at Knight High School, and I noticed that there was just so much activity, so many people around. And I happened to tell one of the gentlemen, like, I love the fact that, this is happening, that this is going on, because I continue to say that we need more activities. And not only that, but it keeps kids off the streets.
Absolutely.
It keeps them away from problems. Not only that, but mentorship. Mentorship should really be just exercise, utilize, and for the next generation, because a lot of kids always have, when they become successful, will always, oh my goodness, I'm like having a brain fart. They'll always go back and just kind of highlight that mentor, that person that believed in them, that person that invested into them, to guide them, to tell them that there's, that there's better things in life.
Right.
So I love that that's going on.
It's really cool. We've been doing travel ball with we have twin boys. They're 6. And so what he's been doing with travel ball in Orange County is from ages technically 8 all the way through high school. And so he's seen a lot of generations come through the door. They practice at P Knight High School. They play out in Orange County, but now they can practice here and play here. So it's exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because soccer's big out here, but I think that there needs to be other sports. Over the weekend, my husband works for Northrop, and actually their company is having like different sports. Cool. And just to see adults come together, and my husband, at the end of the game, he goes, I love the fact that it brought us together and showed us camaraderie. And these are grown men.
Right.
So can you imagine the kids? The kids really need this, especially in our community. Just yesterday, we were having a conversation that we're so good of highlighting the negative in our community. Well, because sometimes that's all you're focused on. Right. So now, there's the basketball, although there is the soccer, and I continue to say that we need more activities, more sports. So hopefully, you guys can invest a little bit more and inspire other people to kind of get out there. When I was in Los Angeles, baseball was huge. And it kept so many kids in East LA off the streets.
100%.
Well, with that, I mean, obviously, I know you guys probably need sponsors, but what else do you guys need to get really scale this?
So you know what, the league is really strong. It's financially strong. It's a viable business down in Orange County. So it doesn't take much. What we're hopeful to build with the city, which is all in the works right now. I was talking with city manager. Hopefully, we're going to be breaking grounds for creating this one multi-usage facility. Okay. Where not just for basketball, volleyball could be in there. Indoor soccer, basketball. You think of it, name it, a facility that could house one, right? Because if you think about. So we have that in Orange County happening now, which is great. One facility,
8 courts,
8 different games going on all at the same time, right? So it allows it's efficient. It allows for a lot of games to be played, get a full experience in a matter of 2 days. That part is great. Right now with our setup, obviously it's only 1 court, right? Per school. Right. So there's a lot of moving pieces of maybe, if you got two kids, maybe one's playing at Lancaster High School, the other one's playing at Eastside High School. So if we can get to that point, which we're actively working on it with the city, that's going to be super exciting because it'll be housed under one roof and we can get a lot more. And maybe there's 2-3 games on a Saturday versus just one game. And that's extremely relevant because when our high schoolers, they go to CIF playoffs, right? You know, maybe they're going a little bit deeper in the playoffs versus losing in the first round. That all comes down to how much training, how much, just training and involvement they get on the off season versus it being, only during their school season.
Right. Yeah, the competition level in Orange County is completely different than the competition level out here. And that's because there's a lack of anything here. So, our boys, they're 6 and they can technically play with 3rd and 4th graders because they're playing in tournaments every single weekend, 2 to 3 games every day. And the competition level out there has prepared them to be able to play up out here. But that's unfortunate because we have 3rd and 4th graders out here who can barely dribble a basketball because they only get it during PE, So we want to give them, there's people who love sports and they want to take it far. We want to give them the opportunity to experience it here to prepare them for the next level.
And the exciting thing is that we're on the road. The city sees the need and these resources have now been made available. So practices are happening and, it's not going to happen overnight. But, if we can keep the program here consistently over the next 5-10 years, then it'll catch right back up and we'll see, because here's the other thing with this, which is exciting. We've had kids, obviously, from this Antelope Valley go pro. Right. You got
like
your
Paul George.
Paul George is obviously the biggest, right? But then you got, Josh Christopher, which is a top shelf financial client, which is cool.
And he's also an AVAC player.
He comes from our program. You got Josh Christopher. You got Dwayne Dedman. You got Christian. You got there so many different names that came from here that are pro athletes, but they go play their high school ball on a much bigger stage because the competition, because of the training, just everything has been a little bit more enhanced down below. If we can again build a facility to where now you can get all of that here and stay here, and have those same opportunities, then that's then it kind of evens out the playing field more.
Right. Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah.
Don't get us started with sports. We're a sports fan.
So
we can go all day.
And I know that the city is actually looking to do 2 sports complex. I know Miss Nardi Lopez actually was promoting that a lot. But the sad thing about that is that the community would not come and give their input. They want to know, what is it that we need? What do you see? What do you, how can we create this for you? So with that said, I encourage the community to come out. There's clearly a lot of great things happening. Let's make it happen, especially for our youth, especially for our future. These are our kids.
We're so tired of hearing there's nothing in the Antelope Valley. So we all got to come out and support each other when there is something in the Antelope Valley so we can continue to bring more.
And it was an amazing turnout for this first season. We got over 300 kids that signed up.
Oh my God.
For this season.
From 5 years old all the way through high school.
Yeah. So, it was a good turnout. And then obviously, but it's the consistency. So now the next season will be, summer and then a fall league and then just keep it rotating that way. So we're on the right track, and that's love to the.
The important thing is you guys started it. Yeah. You guys are putting in the work and action. Like I said, it may take time, but you guys are putting in the work. And that's the important part. I love that because I'm a coach too. I'm a AYSO coach.
Okay.
Up in Valencia for special needs kids.
Okay.
Because my son is a special need.
Okay.
And so I've been doing that for 9 years. So
it's amazing.
I mean, as you can tell, me giving back to the kids is just a passion of mine that I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
I coached my daughter track team for a little over 10 years. Okay. Like I was always that dad where I couldn't sit on the stands. I had to be out there, especially doing track. Like there's no way I was gonna sit all day in the stands.
I'm the same way.
Like I had to be on the field.
Right.
Man, I'm so busy with the schedule, but Saturdays when we get out there, it's like, man, I could probably be a full-time coach because I'm coaching the boys hard, man.
And our daughter just finally, she's 5'8", 5'9", and she just 3 months ago decided, I guess I'll give this basketball thing a shot. We're like, what? You could have been playing all along. It had to be her decision. So now,
absolutely.
So now we're on her too. So it's all day for all of us.
That's great. I love it. I love sports. Every Saturday I'm out there on the field and
Nice.
It's amazing. Cool. It's it's amazing, especially for me because I work with the special needs kids, and a lot of them it's the only thing that they have. Right. Mm-hmm. So when it's raining or like when COVID hit, it broke my heart that they miss a game or miss practice. Right. But when they out there, it's so much fun. Right. And the thing about it, honestly, like I'm a big sports fan. Like I'm a big Laker fan, and football. Mm-hmm. I don't know nothing about soccer. Okay. But no, I don't. I don't know nothing about, honestly, I don't know none of the rules. Right. Like, I don't know what offsides is. I be seeing offside, but I still don't see it. Like, I know what offsides is with all the other sports, but for soccer, that don't make no sense.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, how can you be offside?
You can't be on the other side of defense.
But that didn't stop me. Like, I'm actually one of the co-directors, but I'm still a head coach, and I'm out there running with them. Right. And, I mean, obviously, they're special needs kids, so the rules don't really apply. We're just out there having fun.
Right.
And that's the important thing.
Yep.
I love
just out there having fun, I love it.
It's purposeful.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the youth, if you want to keep the youth focused, enroll them in some sort of sports or a community group where they can, where their grades matter. Like you have to have good grades to participate. It'll keep them focused. They want to stay in that sport with their friends. Right. His best friends came from that sports program that was years ago, So if you guys want your youth to be involved in something amazing and to grow and to stay out of trouble, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are involved. Actually, later on today, we're going to be talking to Captain Staley from the Civil Air Patrol. Cool. And my daughter is actually 12, and she got to fly. What? I mean, how many 12-year-olds can honestly say that? Fly a plane, yeah.
So she's
we have a 12-year-old. I should tell her. Like, we have pilots there.
Well, she's much braver than me, man.
Yeah, you know what was crazy is that they literally get them up to, a point where they can just take over, and the captain says,
moment.
"Here you go."
Wow. That's cool.
Oh yeah, as actually the plane was taking off, it just like gave me so much joy. And my daughter was in a really funky, stage, and especially coming out of COVID, she was in a languishing state, and that just really shifted everything. Right. But just so empowering as a female one, right? Flying at the age of 12. Hello, that's amazing. So that's dope. And actually, my son plays baseball. I'm a huge baseball, fanatic.
I seen your phone. She's a Dodgers fan, guys.
Hey, I got my Joe Kelly. What was that?
What's your daughter's name?
My daughter's name is Melody.
Melody. Shout out to Melody.
Hey,
that's real cool. That's amazing. For you.
She's actually going to be on the show next. So we're doing 2 shows today. So she's actually going to be on the show today with the captain and all that. And we're going to talk about the program up in Palmdale.
That's cool.
Melody definitely has amazing parents for leading and inspiring her that way to do that. So congratulations to you guys.
Oh, thank you. But not only that, but it's because of programs like the basketball, like the Civil Air Patrol, like baseball, soccer, whatever it may be. Like parents, I encourage you. Yes, we live in a community of commuters, but when there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
Absolutely.
When there is a will, there's a way. I mean, I'm carpool mom. I really am. For actually our leadership workshop, half the class I pick up.
Okay.
But you know what? It's because they want to be there. Right. And not only that, but to give them a sense of purpose.
And belonging.
Absolutely.
Belonging.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, so I love it. Actually, you guys have given me so much joy just now. This morning I was listening to Les Brown, and he was just talking about everything you need is on the other side of fear, And I wish kids would just understand that. Don't be intimidated because the other kids been playing for a long time. Oh, yeah. It's the fact that you showed up, you laced up, and you're here.
Right.
Yes.
And that sky's the limit after that.
Yep.
That's just the beginning.
No, you couldn't hit it home better because our daughter, she wanted nothing to do with sports. And a lot of it is because, again, we're a sports family. So the expectations from her peers are obviously a little bit higher and a little bit more judgmental. And, again, just shout out to her because she played her first year of basketball at Hillview Middle School.
Hey.
And
they took home the championship.
Right,
too.
and she took home the championship, and because she did it, she just thinks she's this all-world athlete. She's like, I'm doing track now.
Yeah, now
as she should.
Her confidence is out the door, and I'm like, go get them, go do your thing. We're going to support it.
Yeah, some of the greatest don't start till later. Lisa Leslie didn't start playing basketball till high school. Candace Parker not till 8th grade. So it's never too late, guys. Never too late.
We'll turn this into
a sports
for nothing.
Absolutely. Podcast if you let us, man.
Yeah, I know. Let's stop now.
Hey,
Stephen A. Smith over here, right?
Hey, you know what? I think it's needed. You know.
Right.
So what's next? What's big next for you guys as far as like community work? Because I love what you guys are doing with the youth, but like as far as like the community itself.
With Top Shelf,
Yeah. So last year we did the fashion show, which was a big success. It's funny because I say that, but I also kind of like on the other side cringe a little bit because it was a success and our community made us aware that it was a success. Our standards are our expectations are so high. So we were like, we know we did a good job. We know we brought an experience that, hasn't been done or probably hasn't been done in our community at all. But we were very critical of ourselves and what we wanted it to be.
But you know what? That just shows, because I'm like that too. Like everything I do, like when I was hosting the gala.
Beautiful night.
Right. Like I asked everybody, I did a horrible job, but everybody was like, "Oh no, you did a great job." Like, but I'm very critical. But that comes from a growth mindset because I know I can always do better.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything I do, I can do better.
100%.
It's all about scaling, being better, today than you was yesterday, right?
Exactly.
So that's all that is. This is the growth mindset.
Yep, exactly. So, and all in all, taking a step back and now being 5-6 months removed from it, and just hearing everyone else speaking about that event for 5-6 months after it happened, that kind of gave the a surety, like we did do something unique. Like this wasn't, cool. It was fun. It was different. It hadn't been done. So we did that last year, and again, the expectations, everything is top shelf. We want to bring just the best experience. So I would tell you, I can't go into full details because I'm working with the city on it, but I would tell you we were hopeful to bring this experience this year. But to make it the best experience and the biggest experience for up here, we're going to definitely need all the time in the city to kind of big brother us and help us pull it off. But I will tell you, we're going to be bringing for 2024 an R&B concert experience. And we've already been in talks with, the headliner and different components that's going to go into the show. So I was so hopeful coming on this show.
Oh, it was coming in October.
To announce it to everyone on this show.
Right.
And is that the city of Palmdale or Lancaster?
City of
Lancaster.
Okay, RX Paris. I do got hit. I do have him on my contact. So
right.
We might have to give a little nug.
Yeah, man. Our city council, shout out to them. They definitely, in my experience, they are definitely trying to give back to this community and just bring the best experiences. And they've been very just complimentary to Top Shelf and us working together to try to just bring the best experiences. So
we want to take a little bit more time, make sure that it's something that our city can appreciate. The thing that I hate the most is when things look like it's from the Antelope Valley. Like people are like, oh, that's from the Antelope Valley. You can tell. Right. No, we're trying to bring big city here. So,
That's right. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, trying to bring that, big city energy because it should be. Because, we shouldn't have to go to New York or Miami or, LA to enjoy ourselves. We should be able to have an amazing experience here. So, the good thing about it, like I said, working with the city and working with the board down here, it's all possible, and everybody has an energy and an appetite to want to do it. So, we got that in the works right now, so just be on the lookout for something massive, to come here. So,
yeah. No, and there's so much potential. I mean, the AV is not that far from Los Angeles, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It really is. Yeah. And half of us, probably not even more than half of us, don't hesitate driving down that hill.
Right.
1-2 o'clock in the morning, like half asleep.
Yep.
Right.
Why even have to go through all that when we can bring it here? And it's true. I mean, my husband is from Hollywood, and he actually used to work at clubs in Hollywood, and he tells me there's so much potential out here. We really could bring that vibe, and they already have it at Zelda's. It's such a nice, environment. There's just so much of Hollywood when I step into that. So
absolutely,
I'm so
and they're
excited.
well attended. So that tells you again that there is definitely an appetite to have experiences here in the Antelope Valley. And again, shout out to the community for pulling up. But one of the common things we heard after the fashion show was like, where was this at? Online, right?
Right.
Where was this at? This looks like it was in LA. And it was like, no, this is on the boulevard,
Okay.
and we can continue to have events like that and continue to make them amazing. So.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I know you guys do a lot on the boulevard because you're located here on the boulevard.
Right.
Are you guys part of the Boulevard Association?
Correct. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, you are. So you're up there with Glenn.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Me and Glenn, that's my guy. Shout out to Glenn.
Oh yeah, shout out to Glenn.
I know. I love
I was with, I'm always over there and hanging
Right.
out with Glenn.
Right.
But I was with Glenn yesterday because they started the farmers market.
Right.
Yes.
And we was walking up and down the boulevard, and he gave me some information that I was really disappointed about. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
And even though I love my city, Lancaster, but I didn't know that they outsource the company that does the farmers market.
Farmers market, man.
To somebody in
a phone
Glendora.
call about this.
That to me, I'm sorry. I could call people on this stuff.
Yeah.
Like we got to fix that.
Right. Absolutely.
That is not right.
Yep. No, I just got done talking with someone that wants to be on the board, and she literally just said, "How does this make sense?"
It doesn't. I mean,
make sense?
and me and Glenn, like I said, was walking down the boulevard, and half the vendors was from the valley.
Right.
Right.
And I'm
exactly
like,
what they said.
that's a slap in the face
And there's
to our
plenty of
vendors
small
out-
businesses
out
out
here.
here that would love to have that. So we're gonna
Right.
definitely be
That's like,
bringing.
come
I
on.
literally before coming here, I had a conversation specifically to that.
Yeah.
And everything with our board. That we've been talking about, and we're just gonna call it for what it is. Like, we got to shift the culture,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's been a renewed commitment. I'm new to the board, but I've been very vocal about that, like shifting the culture, bringing experiences that are, well cultured with different communities that our communities could appreciate, and just making things that don't make sense make sense.
Right.
We should be involved in Magical Boulevard. We should be involved in our farmers market. It's our boulevard. We make up the boulevard. It's our
Right.
businesses.
And I would actually like to see, and somebody brought this up as we was talking yesterday on the boulevard. Why is it a farmer's market, but we only have one person doing produce?
doing
Oh, yeah.
produce, man.
Like, how does that make sense?
Right.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
I know.
And I
Right.
actually wanted to kind of correct you on that.
Yeah,
It's
tell
not
me.
small businesses, it's
Oh, yeah.
thriving businesses.
Thriving
I love that.
businesses.
Yep.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
Absolutely.
I continue to kind of correct
Yeah.
people. I
Yeah.
was corrected on
Yeah.
that. But in reality,
Yep.
there are so many thriving businesses
Absolutely.
here,
Yeah.
and a lot of entrepreneurs. I think that it wasn't until I got up here that I was just like, man, they really are out here.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You couldn't said it better. Again, there's nothing. These are people that have big dreams,
Right.
big goals, and there's nothing small about that. So I
Right.
definitely think we need to eliminate that terminology of small, right? Because
Yeah.
we're playing big out here. So,
It's all the mindset.
yeah,
It is my son.
You know?
100%.
No, so I love what you guys are doing. I know I was supposed to join the board when I first moved out into this building a year ago.
Right.
But I didn't, just because there was so much politics involved and who
Yeah.
was running it at the time. And they was like, these people are not budging.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to join when Diana was on it. And, she was like, no one's budging. So, I'm glad, like a friend of mine, Raina from Fusion,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
just joined.
That was
And
that phone call
she
that I had earlier.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Raina.
shout out to
No,
Raina.
I
Shout
love
out
it.
to
I
her.
love it. Yeah.
Raina's my girl.
And I'm gonna tell you, just for the record, and just to be clear, we need that. There's been some hesitation. She's spicy, right?
She is.
Yeah.
And we just met, a couple of days ago, right, at my office,
Okay.
and I'm like, look, we're going to take that same mentality, right, of what the absolute of what needs to change, what needs to get better, but we're going to bring organization to it, right? Because that's when it's okay, accepted, appreciated. Like, this is logistically how we need to distribute change, right? We're passionate about the change, but at the same time, we're also coming organized with the change. So the board, it's exciting because the culture in its entirety is changing and shifting. I can't be, this is probably at this time the closest I want to be to politics.
Right.
It's through the
No,
board.
same to me, because I don't like politics.
Right.
But,
Yeah, this is the closest I want to be to it. But we're getting things done, and that makes me feel good about
Right.
the time that I'm spending away from my kids, from my wife, because we're actually casting visions that our board is getting behind. We got a unanimous vote for the concept of this concert experience that we want to bring, and that's probably not heard of in years to come
Right.
on our board. So I'm excited to be a part of it and to help bring change to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, especially when they say, I don't want to get involved in politics. And it's true. It's it has this ugly face, right? Yeah. However, what you're doing is the best investment, because this is your community, and nothing to, downplay all the walks and all the marches and all of that stuff. However, is it really going to get your point across? Are you really investing where you live? It's like, here, this is our community, and then your voice is now being heard. You are speaking to the people that can help you make that change that you want to see. So definitely what you're doing, kudos.
I appreciate that. It's just about the it's the problem. We all know what the problem is. Now it's about, okay, what work goes into this? We got to go do the work, and sometimes too often in our community, the work part is missing. It's we need to go and so we can be heard. Go and do the protest and march and bring awareness to the problem. But then follow that through. Okay, what are the action items to go and
take that
make
seat.
That change?
Take that seat and step up. I mean, even with the sheriff department, I actually signed up for their workshop that they're doing where they want to come together with the community. But in reality, it's like we can't really just badmouth them and you're not doing good. But they're now giving you the opportunity to let your voice be heard. Sign up, show up, let them know. Let's do, build that community that we do want to see. We even suggested to to have softball games with the sheriff department, with our community, So they're people just like us. You know what I mean? It's a job.
We just talked about this on the last show with my girl Jackie Hernandez, and we talked about people say unity and a community and all this, but like you said, like where's the action? Where's the actionable steps? We can't just continue to sit here and talking about it. We got to show up and put it in the work. Yes. And it is a thin line sometimes because everybody works. Most people work down the hill. So when you get back here, like in the evening times or on the weekends, you really don't want to get out and do community stuff. But guess what? We have to do it, and we have to do it for our youth. Because we have to make this community safer and better for our kids.
Couldn't agree more.
And
definitely.
If we got to put it, we got to put it to work. It's not even about we have to put it in the work for our kids.
And that's my call to the Hispanic Chamber is the best chamber out here. I'll be on the record saying that. I don't have a problem with it. You guys are amazing, right? You guys are just doing the best work.
Say that louder for the people in the back.
I'm gonna say it again. Hispanic Chamber, man. Shout out to them. I'm not a part of it, but shout out to them because they're doing. I've come to several events with the Hispanic Chamber. I've done and had lunch with you guys as leaders over there. I really respect what you guys are doing. And so, but the conversation is with the city. We should be doing events that our community can connect to. Oftentimes, events have been done and there's been a disconnect from the city to the community. If we can bring our leaders, our business leaders into the fold to create these experiences that are housed by the city and the cities are involved in doing these events, but they're put on by our business rock stars that represent these different communities, well, then that's probably the starting point of where that healing and that coming together and that unity that we all want to see. That divide. Yeah, we can make that bridge. So that's what I'm trying to help.
No, again, but like I say, again, some people got to take out the egos. You got to take the politics out of it, and we got to do the work just for the community, and that's it. It's for the community. It's for we cannot continue to live this way and pass all these problems and stuff on to our kids. We got to do something. We can't just ignore it.
Be the change that you want to see. Above everything, integrity. Have integrity.
Yes.
Better said.
So with that said, what's next for Top Chef? Like, what is you guys' biggest goal here?
For me, so my biggest goal is I want to educate our community and help our community start to have some of the knowledge that other communities have in regards to finances. So I have a huge crusade in my heart to really do that, educate. So it's not even necessarily about the business portion of it. Money's going to be there. Money is going to come. But it's education. So that's why we're doing more on Instagram with Amber and putting out more videos, because if I can just start touching some people, some of the youth, some of the people that look like us, like you said, all it takes is one person to change a complete generation and generations to come. So that's our goal. That's my crusade right now, is educating the community on financial services.
You know what? I'm going to say this because I always tell people that if you chase your passion, money will always present itself.
Right.
Never chase the money, right? And one thing that I admire about what you guys are doing is you guys are continuing to educate people. You guys never talk about pricing or trying to make money through people. You guys are you guys are really out there in the community putting into action and educating people. So you guys continue to do that, seriously, because the money will come to you guys, and you guys know that. Right. And I know you guys know that because you guys are actually putting into action and putting in the work.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it was funny, again, just having a conversation with an agent that wants to come work with us before coming here. And he was telling me, you know, what his goals were. And he led with, you know, I want to get in front of people to teach people. And I was like, man, here, we could, you know, you can work with us, right? Just off of saying that, right? Because, you know, I was explaining to him, I said, look, you know, we've done very well in business just off of a couple basic principles, right? But maybe it's not as basic because there's not a lot of people that follow these steps. You know, one, giving our clients an amazing experience working with Top Shelf Financial. I mean, through not just through the work, but how do we treat them after they become clients, right? Is it just a transaction, or are we going to take a little bit more time to figure out what they're passionate about, what they love? You know, if maybe they're a Dodger fan, we're going to send them Dodger tickets. Maybe if they like Lakers, you know, whatever it is, right? That investing back into them, into things they care about, you know, creating an experience. And then followed after that, you know, accurate financial planning, accurate financial, you know, putting together a portfolio that's sound, that, you know, holds up, right? If another advisor comes and sit down with them, is it going to fall apart, or is it going to be on the books? And that advisor says, man, great job for your agent. He did an amazing job, or she did an amazing job for you. You know, that client's going to be like, man, I'm so happy I'm working with that advisor that's so thorough and good at making sure my goals are being met, right? So, and
I always look good, right? Because we're going to send them the swag.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And we can have them in the swag as well.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So, you know, just creating an experience, and through just taking those steps, you know, money has come in uncommon amount to us. You know, we've been blessed in that way, but it's never leading with like, you know, how much money I'm going to go make on this client or this month. It's always like, I'm going to go and, you know, take our message, take our brand, take our experience to what we're good at doing to our consumer. And, you know, it just happens to work out to our benefit every time.
Yeah, it's a great message just to entrepreneurs in general. We started off at, what is this going to make us? Because like you said, we were young, we had a daughter, we were in survival mode, you know, so we were thinking about, what can this industry provide for us? The minute it switched in our minds and we gained a true passion for really helping the person sitting in front of us, that's when everything just clicked on that end, you know, it just changes. And it's like, I told him, I said, it's no longer, you no longer look for clients. Clients are just finding you. And it's because you're coming off as genuine. And that's kind of been our thing. We no longer have to look for the clients. We no longer have to, we're always going to cast a net, but we no longer have to do that because it's genuine, and it just kind of happens. And that's
it's law of attraction.
Law of attraction, absolutely.
When you lead with your heart and your passion, that's why I always tell people, follow your passion. The money will always present itself. Just follow your passion.
Absolutely. That just gave me goosebumps.
No, 100%. And that's why you guys are doing very well, and why you guys are a pillar in this community. And this is why we do what we do. Like, we don't get paid for this show. Like, we do this because we want to spotlight people like you guys and show the community, like, no, these are genuine entrepreneurs on the boulevard and in our community, you know, so go support them.
Yeah,
right. They're here.
Definitely. Yeah. And shout out to you guys, because this is one of those podcasts that you anticipate being on, because, you know, again, you guys are bringing attention and just bringing that light to the different businesses, to where it's like, man, I want to be a part of that podcast because I really appreciate what it is that, you know, you guys are doing. So it's just it's a hand in glove fit that just makes sense, to where it's like, you guys are doing an amazing job with this work, and it complements really well. So again, compliments.
Thank you. I mean, for me, I started this, because I met a lot of business owners out here. With my background, because I don't know if you guys know, I've been in the film industry for 35 years. Yeah. So that's where I come from, and that's why I kind of do this. But when I met the entrepreneurs out here, man, I was like, man, people need to know these stories.
Right.
Like, we're in a small community, and we got to support each other.
Right.
But when you go and you interview like entrepreneurs like yourself, and now the community just heard you guys have a regular conversation with us, right? It wasn't scripted. It was from you guys' heart. Now the community knows about you, knows more background about you. Now it's like, oh, wow, I'm going to support them.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
And Diana said something interesting earlier, that people tune in so much to the negativity.
Right.
And I love AV Scanner. But guys, there's so
Yeah.
much more that we can watch and
Exactly.
listen to the One Life podcast, where you guys can get something positive out of this community. We don't always have to tune into the negative.
and you know what? And I forgot who was on the show. Nikki was on the show, and we was talking about that, about we are what we consume.
Right.
And I love the AV Scanner as
1,000%.
well, but it's
Yes.
like every time I'm scrolling, I see something negative. Like, you got to throw some positive stuff in there
Right.
too. Like, for
Absolutely.
real. And I'm not saying you got to put my show on there, but there's a lot of like great stuff out there, like,
happening.
because we are what we consume. And
Absolutely.
if we continue consuming that negative stuff, guess what?
Yep.
Like, what we put out there is what we get back.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just keeps that narrative
Yeah, going.
about out here, and it's just, again, we're bigger than that. I think we got much more potential than what's been just shown here, and
Right.
but I'm excited to be stepping into it. It's all about where we're going, and I think that I feel comfortable seeing that we're actually doing the work to
And you
level
guys
up.
are doing an amazing job.
I appreciate that, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
100%.
And
So-
positivity is actually artificial. Negativity is in our DNA, and that's the reason why it's so easy and it's projected so much. So the fact that we have knowledge of that, and you guys are doing the work, putting in the positivity. I mean, sky's the limit after that, right? You said there is no roof, right?
There's no roof.
There you go.
That's right.
Hey, there's no roof.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's do our
Yes.
crush your goals.
So crush your goal, for whatever reason, y'all, I keep saying it lines up with our guest, and this is it's actually perfect for you guys.
Right.
And it comes from Elizabeth Gilbert, and it says fear is boring, right?
Fear
Fear is boring.
Fear is boring.
Right.
And I
It is
think that's exactly what kind of it lines up with you guys, right?
Absolutely. We're both believers of God and Jesus, and I always say fear and faith cannot occupy the same space. So you choose one or the other, and I choose faith. I don't want to be afraid all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nah, you couldn't be better.
No, you know what, 100%. And you know what, I actually, around, I'm going to say 3-4 years ago, even though I grew up Catholic and I've always, God has always been my foundation, about kind of living the spiritual life. I finally, about 3-4 years ago, just had a conversation with God, because I always have a conversation with God. Like, I always have a personal relationship with him. Right? Even though I don't talk about it a lot, I have a personal relationship with him. Right. But about 3-4 years ago, I finally said, you know what? I'm going to let you handle this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're way better than me. I'm going to stop trying to beat you, and I'm going to let you do you.
Oh, look how life
100%.
changes, right?
No, it does, 100%. Like, I said, you know what? You got this. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. No, I'm wired the exact same way. I'm like, I'm gonna drive this thing until my vision comes to pass. And even just with this previous event that we were working on, everything was formulating, and it was formulating, but at the same time it was maybe some force in there, because the better way forward now, when you take a step back and looking at God being behind you, is let's do this next year. More time, right? I struggle with patience. I'm not a patient guy, right? And so, taking a step back, that's the best way to do it. And it's like, you know what? Okay, yeah, you may materialize a lot of your goals and dreams, but at what expense? You're going to try to over-materialize over God? Maybe that's not in his will, right? For you right now. Just take a step back and get a lesson in patience and go and do it the right way, so you can all around create the experience that you want to create. So I connect with you on that, man.
And you know what? I used to
take the
never
wheel.
have patience, but now I think I'm the most patient person on the world.
Good.
Beautiful, man.
Good.
No,
So
and it's hard sometimes,
Yeah,
because I still have that. Come on, God.
You
It's
teach
like,
a
all
master
right.
class. I signed up and I'll
No,
listen to you.
no.
on patience.
I mean, because you gotta sometimes just step back and say, you know what, he's doing this for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing it for a reason. No matter how much I want this to go right now, you know what, he's doing it for a reason. So I'm gonna just chill.
Talk.
Right.
And it's like how people always say, you can't stop stressing over things you can't control.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing, entrepreneurs are visionaries.
Yeah.
So when we see our vision that's been given it to us from God, we think, oh, that's what you see us doing. Let's do it right now. No, there's steps.
There's steps.
Slow down a little bit, Let's take the right path, not the hard path. So absolutely.
And it's not a destination, right? So even though you have this journey, this vision, like it's still a journey to get there.
Yes.
Right. It's not a destination like I'm here, I made it. No, then what? Like, it's like
then the vision completely
it's all
changes,
about the
right?
journey,
It's the
right?
journey.
Yeah.
Like Kobe talked about that a lot.
Exactly.
Like it's about the journey. It's not about the championship. It's about that journey getting there.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you know what? Like just tying that whole idea to my experience in business, starting this business at 19 years old, you dream because you see it obtainable. You hear about the money that people make in this industry, and you see it like, okay, this is the kind of life I want to have. And all, more than once, I've accomplished my goals, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I have more fun in the pursuit of it than the actual destination.
Oh, yeah.
The hunt of it all is where the dream is actually happening. Kobe spoke to that, right? So the dream is the journey, not so much. I mean, it's sweet. We love it. Okay, great. I accomplished my end goal, my vision. But it's what went into accomplishing the vision more so than the vision itself. But for all those that are ambitious, go out there and accomplish your goals.
And you know what? I don't even call them goals because goal is an ending. Right. I call them milestones.
Milestones. Okay.
Like I accomplished this milestone. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going for the next milestone. Right.
Yeah.
That's
so young entrepreneurs.
It's shifting our mindset.
Right. Do not quit. That's the, keep going. And then once you get there, you'll realize the moment when you were going to quit was the fun part. Like you don't realize it, but it is. That's the fun. When we think about that was as hard as it was. That was the part that built us, and you kind of miss it sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I text Mike earlier, live full, die empty.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
I love that quote.
I'm telling you, I was on that Les Brown this morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me text him that link real quick.
Yeah.
Live full, die empty.
I mean, and that's why, like even like today, like we have our meeting, right, in a little bit. And it's like, it makes what we do here all worth it. Right. Because we just doing what we love, right? But then look what comes out of it. Right. Like we didn't even ask for that. Like they approached us with it. Like, and it's like so amazing. Like,
That's cool.
That's amazing.
I can't wait.
You guys will be popping bottles sooner than later.
Hey, right.
So with that said, what kind of wisdom you guys gonna leave with the people?
Drop that knowledge.
Go ahead, lead us in the way. You're philosophical.
Not so. One of the most important things that I've learned through our journey so far. That the vision that you're receiving is not for everybody, right? So when you receive something from, I believe it's from God, when you receive that or from whoever your higher power is, sometimes you need to protect it, keep it to yourself, know that it's not everyone else's vision, and then pour yourself into it. Like you said, live full, die empty. Like that. I love that. That's exactly what I want more people to do. And then also sit down with a financial professional, whether it's us or someone else, and get that part of your life taken care of so you're not 40, 50, 60, going back into the work field, working at a job that you wouldn't see yourself ever doing just so that you can live.
Right. Definitely. A couple things. One, love the sport, right? For the entrepreneur out there. Love the sport in its entirety, the good, the bad, the ugly. Absolutely love everything that comes with it. Last year was one of our more like challenging years that we've had in a while, and we had to stay with it, and we had to just stay committed to it. And it was like, it was challenging, right? But then, on the other end of it, like our biggest, reward in our career also happened too as well right after that. So love the process. The challenges that are sent your way are sent to either do one of two things, either break you and send you home, or to help level you up and to help you rise to that higher version of yourself. Love all of it. Even again, just going back to the whole experience that we were working on with the city to try to bring this year, I love the fact that our vision was to try to accomplish it this year, but but then it didn't work that way, right? It's going to be a next year thing. And you got to love that part of it because you're going to love the successful evening at the end of it come next year. So just be true to the game, you know, be true to the game. That's
100%. I mean, and I tell people this all the time. There's no way you're getting to success without going through failure.
Right.
100%. There's no, I don't care who you are, what you do. You're not getting to success without going through failure.
Right.
So embrace it.
Embrace
it is really not that bad. We've been through so much in our life. So those little bad days we have, we're going to get through it.
So temporary.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
do it.
And I love the point that you made. If you have a vision, keep it to yourself. Sometimes you have to, because your vision is your vision. Just like how God gave each one of us a gift, a special gift.
Right.
He gave you a special vision. It's your vision. There's nobody else's. No one ever going to see that vision until you're successful. That's when they're going to see it. They're not going to see it as you're building it. They're never going to see it.
Right.
So times, I mean, it's great that you want to tell people because you're excited, but maybe keep it in your close circle. You ain't got to tell everybody because those people are just going to bring you, oh, that's not going to work. No, that's not a great idea. But guess what? It is.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'll also say, too, as well, you know, be 100% content with hitting that home run on your own terms and striking out on your own terms. Like, I could totally live with, you know, this whole top shelf experience that we're creating. If we're wrong on it, right, which we won't be, but if we were to be wrong on it, like, I could completely live with it because it's the whole Frank Sinatra, I did it my way.
100%.
And so be again, hit that home run on your own terms or strike out and be okay with it because, like, hey, at least it's, you know, I'm not gonna be up wondering what if I would have did it. Right? You know, so
and you know what, that's how I grew up, and that's why, like I said earlier, I've been on my since I was 14, never had a 9-to-5 job. I've done a lot of projects, done a lot of things, but you know what, I can really say, you know what, at least I tried. I did it.
Right.
I left nothing behind.
Right.
I did it.
Right. And one more thing, if we can all just be ourselves and be your genuine self, unless it's toxic, then change it. But if it's not, then, you know, really try to be yourself. We just recently met up with, we went out to Arizona and met up with the top of the top in our industry. And we walked in the room. We were the only African Americans in there. Out of maybe 50, 60, I was the only woman in there. And sometimes that can be discouraging or it can be intimidating. But the thing that we always stand on is we are us. We are who we are. And if you stick to who you are, people are attracted to that authenticity. So, yeah, that's it.
I always say, be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. Yeah. Unless you're toxic again.
Right?
Well,
find someone new.
Well, with that said, you guys, we are out of here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Devontae, and thank you, Jasmine from Top Shelf Financials. You guys go check them out, even if it's just to get educated and get information. I mean, it's really needed in our community right now.
Yes.
And thank you guys again for being a pillar in our community.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for the work that you
enjoy the outfits.
I know. Yeah.
Make sure when you pop the VU Clico, right?
Just send us a video. You don't got to tell us what happened. Just
actually, I might have to take that from Mike. That's mine. That's my fave.
Thank you guys again. But before we go, where can they find you guys? On social media?
Yes. Go ahead.
So our Instagram is Top Shelf Financial Services.
No, just Top Shelf.
Sorry, guys, I'm not good with Instagram. Top Shelf Financial. Our website is www.topshelffinancialservices.com, or just come down the boulevard. You guys can catch us there too.
Hey.
Absolutely.
All right. We out of here.
All right. Be well, y'all.
Be well.
Take care.
Bye.